Coach, although you guys trailed the entire game, you were in it, even down to the stretch in that final whistle. What was the difference, you think, in being able to ever take the lead in this one?
Well, for us today at least, I thought that our lack of shot making impacted our energy overall. And if you're going to beat a team like Holy Cross, you kind of have to have a lot more resiliency than that. And I just didn't think that we were able to weather that today.
Obviously into the final games of the regular season, between today's loss, but even looking at that win over Lehigh, what are some of those positives of encouraging things you're noticing about how you guys are playing as of late?
No, I think we're doing some good things, offensively when we're sharing the ball and getting the ball movement, and now some of our executions coming along. And I think we're growing defensively. I think, what you're seeing from us, whether we play man or whether we play zone, that we can be a tough team to score against when we're locked in and when we're all moving as one. I just thought there were some points today where that kind of got away from us.
Absolutely. Thank you, Coach. Let's get to our player of the game, Teresa. You had your second double-double of the season to lead your team, but you guys were never able to take the lead on the floor. What do you think made it so difficult to complete a comeback?
Yeah, Holy Cross, they're a good defensive team in our league, so we weren't really able to knock down shots as well as what we're used to, and they kind of forced us to execute further through our offense, and we just didn't knock shots down today like what we normally do. I think we shot like 20-something% from the field, which isn't our norm, so we'll come back for the next game better.
Now, you guys getting healthier. You've got a great mixture of young and veterans. Coach mentioned some of the things they're seeing. As a player on the floor, looking at today's game in comparison to even last time you played Holy Cross, what are you seeing as the progression for how you guys are playing basketball?
Yeah, it's great to have some of our vet players back that have experience, but just from the last time we played Holy Cross to now, we've seen so much growth in a lot of our young players. A lot more composure against pressure, a lot more aggression going to the basket. Like Emma Heaney, big shout out to her. She had a great finish to the game. But yeah, we need a lot more growth from them to finish the season.
Well, best of luck in your next one. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Guys, back to you.
Thank you very much, and a job well done again by Renee Washington. And John, let's go through the highlights, and we'll kind of take a look at the standings and where things are headed.
Yeah, again, Holy Cross, a kid like Flanagan is so, they're experienced. Simone Foreman, a senior, Gary, you mentioned it, coming into tonight, 14% from three-point range. She knocked down her first two and really kind of set a tone. The freshman, Haley Adamski, knocking down a three, and then Sada Nachanaya-Gizi with a three, our Coca-Cola player of the game with Kiwa with a three. Lafayette lives and dies by the three-point shot right now. There's Simone Foreman again. She had three of them tonight. But Holy Cross has so many weapons, and they play fast. Look at this bounce pass from Foreman on the inside to Cahalan. And there's Flanagan. You can't leave her on the perimeter wide open. They play so fast, and they're so athletic. Their defense, I think, is understated. I really do. I think when you look at this team, the way they play on offense, sometimes that steals the thunder. But if you focus on their defense, they're in constant pressure. Adamski then did find an opening there. But it was just so difficult. It was like you're swimming upstream all night long. You heard Coach Kid Amon-Olsen talk about the shooting percentages. Well, sometimes you got to tip your cap to the defense. There's Flanagan with a little shot fake and a little mid-range jump shot in the middle. Tasha Chudy, good to see her back, but I'll tell you, the dominance inside the Holy Cross bigs, although they're not prototypical big kids, as we see freshman Haley Poser knock one down. But Gary, they're physical. They're 5'10", 5'11", some maybe 6 feet tall, but they're physical, and they lean on you. And over the course of a long game, shooters start to lose their legs, and I think that had a big influence on how this game shook out at the end.
No question, shaking out right now in Worcester. The Lafayette men just took the lead, 81-80 in that ball game, a big turnaround. All right, let's take a look at the numbers. Certainly a big pat on the back to Meg Callahan as she hits a milestone, over 1,000 points now in her career. Flanagan, with 9 points, did go over 1,000. Cahalan, the leading scorer, with 15 points in this one. And John, the numbers prove out we didn't shoot the ball well at all tonight, and I think a lot of the credit does go to the defense.
They're physical, they're quick, they have good size. I still think that the way Holy Cross ran their offense, you saw 20 assists. I don't know how many baskets they ended up with, but an unbelievable percentage. And what that means is you're moving without the basketball, your teammates are finding you, and you're wearing out the defense. A lot of times when you score off the dribble, it's one-on-one. The other 4 players are relaxed a little bit. There's not a whole lot to do. But when you're moving as one, 5 in a row, and you've got to play defense on that, it wears you down.
Join us. You are invited for breakfast at Kirby on Sunday at noon, as we'll be here as the Lafayette men will take on American. Please join us for that one. Thanks for spending time with us tonight. For John Leone, the Astound television team out in the truck, we thank you so much for watching. Tyler Brockville in charge tonight. I'm Gary Laubach. Good night, everybody.